Hey, good afternoon, and welcome to Cruise Amigos live from London. Only actually, we're live from Virginia today, although we're calling it live from London, and we're having technical issues from no telling what's going on. Our guest, Allison, is having trouble getting opened. She sent me a message. We have not seen John. Of course, we had the time change last night, folks.
Yep.
So that might have things screwed up. My computer was screwed up to start today with. It for some reason, it didn't reset the time. So Pete and I were already on the stream and had to redo things. So we're going to go ahead and start the show. And if John and Allison pop in, great. If they don't, we'll do this another time. There comes Allison now. So let me bring Allison on. Yep, Allison's with us. Hey, Allison, how you doing?
Hi. Move over a bit. Hi, how are you?
Sorry about that. No, let me see. I want to.
Other way.
I have to figure out how I've got to change the.
We're having fun, Allison, because the clock's changed.
No, I don't want to do that.
The clock's changed in America, yeah?
I never can remember, Pete, how I do this to just shuffle the pictures.
I couldn't get on for some reason. The link wasn't working, but I got there. So
now, just to explain everything, we've got a special announcement to make very, very soon, yeah? But because the clock's changed in America, Chili's computer didn't automatically change. And Chili and me always come in an hour beforehand to get prepared for the show, yeah? And it was telling us that we were going live. We're meant to go live now. And Facebook give you 10 minutes, 10 minutes to go live, and they cut you off. So Chili had to reset his computer to the correct time because it didn't change in America, and then reset StreamYard. Crazy. So
yeah,
maybe
it was a little nutty.
Yeah. So maybe what happened was, unfortunately, it reset the StreamYard, so you couldn't get in. That's what happened, you know. So we're hoping, John, because we've got a real special, exciting announcement that we want to make. We are going to make it, and we were really hoping.
There's John now. So excellent. I'll bring John. Okay. Everybody's here.
Hi, John.
Sorry about that. We're just a little technical difficulty. Okay, Allison, before I officially introduce you, we're going to get some business out of the way. Take 4 or 5 minutes here. Okay. Everybody, I'm Chili Falls I'm coming to you from.
Where are you? Think about it for a minute.
He's frozen, actually. That would figure. That's excellent. Chili has actually frozen. Guess what?
Well, they always said when you freeze your butt in Chili Falls.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened there. Everything went black.
That's what they always say. Just before, that's what they say. Everything just went
some
black.
Technical issues on my end. I completely lost the internet when I started trying to get hooked up today. Okay. Anyway, we're the Cruise Amigos. I'm Chili from Virginia. Down below me, that's John Reitmeyer. He's from up there in Crookston, Minnesota. And the fella over there on the with the Big Ben in the background, that's Pete Hall. He talks funny, and he's from London. And then, of course, our guest is Allison, who we'll get to in a minute. We came up with an idea some time ago and started working on it, folks. And so this is going to be a quick, down and dirty announcement of what we're going to be doing, and basically set you up for next Sunday. We're going to dedicate the entire show to actually launch our proposition. We decided some time ago, that the folks in our ports that we like to go to are struggling horribly with the whole pandemic, and it's getting worse. And with even the cruise ships now doing their own thing on their side trips and so forth, some of the independent contractors, if you want to call them that, in our favorite ports are getting just absolutely strangled. So, prime example, I've been to Nassau 4 times this year before it was all shut down. I don't normally go on an excursion from a ship. I get off the ship and go into the port, and I have places that I like to go, whether it's a Senor Frogs or a Margaritaville or one of the local restaurants, and I have lunch and a cocktail. But in Nassau, which I've been 4 times, I go over in the straw market right off the ship, and there's a lady that has a little stand there that makes the most yummy pina coladas I've ever drank in my life. So first thing I do is go by her and get a pina colada, and I might sit there for an hour chatting with her and the people around her there in the straw market and sip on my pina colada. She is making no money, none, zero. And when the cruise ships start sailing again from the States, the excursions off the cruise ships are going to be going to specific places, and they're not going to let people get off and go to like the straw market to go get my pina colada. So we've started kicking ideas around how we can help some of these folks. And we came up with a concept, which is a foundation. It's going to be called Support a Port. And basically my thought is, from my personal standpoint, the money I would spend at a port, I'm going to donate to that port on our foundation, and that money will be funneled to those folks that need it. Now, I'll let John and Pete give a little bit more to this whole concept, and then we'll get to Allison. So, Pete,
shall I go?
You're up.
Do you want to go? Okay, I'll go. Yeah, Support a Port. It's a non-profit organization based in America, and we are going to be raising money, raising as much money as we can before Christmas for all the people that work in your favorite ports. You donate to Support a Port to your favorite ports, and we're going to make sure the funds go to the people who have lost everything. There are so many people. There are so many suppliers out there that have nothing. There are islands out there. We're not cruising. The cruise ships aren't coming in. They've lost everything, and they don't have any other work. It's such a sad thing. So what we're doing is we've made an organization called Support a Port. We're asking the cruising community, everybody in the cruising community, to please support this. We're going to do a live launch show next week with special guests. We're going to have lots of special guests on there, and we're going to try and raise as much money as we possibly can. And it's not just now, not just COVID. As Chili says, when cruising resumes, these cruise ships, the excursions, they're going to be organized. So everybody in those ports are going to get no help whatsoever. We think this is an opportunity for cruising and cruisers to give something back. So we're going to be very brief. We'll talk about it next week, but please like our page and more information will come. John.
Well, they say you should never follow children's acts or animals, but they never said don't follow Cruise Amigos. But you guys have kind of said it all. The big thing that we just want to really have people understand is we're not doing this for ourselves. We're channeling every dollar that we can other than our costs. Literally every dollar you give is going to go on through. We are just slim. We have all of the infrastructure that we think that we need anyway for my other businesses and things. So other than the legal costs and, these little narrow margins of operating, everything's going to go there. And it's divided up by ports. So if you like Barcelona, you'll be able to give to Barcelona. If you like, Kiel and the north side of Germany, you give to Kiel. So it's not like one of these things where, you might give to the Purple Cross in the United States or wherever, and you just don't know where it's going or whatever. Each time that people give, they're asked where they want it to go. And when that gets up to a certain level that we can actually make a donation, we're not sending $5, then that chunk of money will go to that port and will go to the people that need help, mostly in that port. We have partnered with some really, really cool people at the other end, basically, who can tell us, okay, this is a family business that's out of business. This is a group of people like the equivalent of, the boat loaders. This is a group of people that just can't, that needs your help. This is a church that is supporting these people that need help. It will be different in every port. But the thing is, we will find the need on the other end, and based on what we collect, we will have that chunk of money to go in that direction. And so, like I said, you get to pick the direction. If you like Barcelona, it goes to Barcelona. The person that likes Miami, I don't know that there'll be too many American favorite ports, because we're thinking of this more as a far off reaching thing. But if it's St. Petersburg, or it's wherever it should be for you, this is kind of you're driving. The people that are listening are driving the direction of our nonprofit.
Thanks, John. And we will be posting the link to support a port everywhere. Thank you, Chile.
Okay, you're going to be hearing a lot more about it, folks. I'll be talking about it on my regular show. We'll be doing interviews about it on the Facebook page. We'll probably start showing some scenes from ports, and we're going to get into some really ongoing marketing with this, and hopefully it's going to be a most successful project for all of our friends out there that have supported us, forever in all these ports. Okay, so much for that. I have no idea who's made comments over there. Pete, you can check on that.
Yeah, there's plenty of comments, Chile, when you're ready. Okay.
Our guest today, of course, is Allison More. She's been with us before. She's contributed to this show on several occasions. We got to talking about some of her cruises that she liked, and one of her favorite cruises was on the Norwegian Epic to the Southern Caribbean. And I said, well, let's do a show on that cruise. So I've got a bunch of pictures that Allison sent me. I'm just going to turn it over to Allison. And once again, Allison, welcome to the Cruise Amigos live from London.
Good to see you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. And just before I start, it was for everybody who knows me, I take hundreds of photos, absolutely hundreds. So to whittle them down to the 70 plus, I think I gave you, Chile, was quite an achievement for me. So,
by the way, the only problem I had, she has some marvelous panorama photos. It doesn't translate into this system.
Yeah.
So I couldn't use the panoramas, but we got all kinds of neat pictures to take. So I'm just going to put them up. I'm going to let you talk, and we'll probably throw some questions in, and maybe we'll get through some of them and take a break and let Pete go over and check on comments for us.
Yeah. When you're ready, Chile, I'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh. So this was a cruise I did in January. So lucky to have cruised in January, looking back on the year that we've had. It was on the Epic, a 10-day from San Juan, and this is in San Juan itself. So I flew in a couple of days before, Glasgow, London, Miami, San Juan. So quite a long 22 hours, I think, altogether traveling. So had a full day in San Juan before we sailed the following day. So where I was staying in San Juan, just in old San Juan, just on the edge, almost kind of more towards the Condado side of it for those that have been to San Juan. To walk into old San Juan itself, you can sort of go the coastal route, or there was a main path walking in. People that we met in the hotel, we decided to travel in the coastal route, and so glad we did. It probably took about 45 minutes walk or so to get in there. So the two pictures that you've just seen are a couple that are on the path. There's beaches that you see and lots of monuments and things in San Juan. So this was kind of quite a pretty display. This is round opposite the building that you've just seen before, which I think is one of the Parliament buildings, I think, in San Juan. Yeah. And then opposite that, there's a statue, I think, of St. John the Baptist, I think. And these mosaics that you were seeing surrounded both sides of it, and they were just so pretty. And one thing I noticed about San Juan is there was so many monuments, especially along the coastal paths, and even walking into Condado and round about the old town, and they were beautifully kept and just so clean. But I just thought all these were particularly pretty that surrounded the statue. So yeah, that was on the coastal walk-in from the hotel I was staying in into where this photograph was taken from, was at the fort of San Cristobal. I think it was. So that was kind of from the grounds of the fort, looking over into Old San Juan. We didn't actually go up into the fort itself. You could pay to get in, but I think because only had a day there, just wanted to try and get round as much as possible. But I must admit, I was totally impressed with San Juan itself, and would love to go back to spend a lot more time there. There was so much to see and do. That,
now, there wasn't any adult beverages involved, was there?
Well, one of the first places we just so happened to come across about 10:30 in the morning, I don't know why it was the first place we found, was the birthplace of the Pina Colada. So yeah, you've got to go in and have one, don't you? And you don't even, before you even sit down, they say Pina Colada. So they know what you're coming in for. So yeah, and very nice it was too. They just do so much of it. So this was just pretty much where the Pina Colada was in Barachina, just out and down to the left. This is normally Umbrella Street. So because there was the fiesta in San Juan at the time we're there, or there was supposed to be the fiesta, it was cancelled. But they had the Puerto Rican flag out just for the fiesta. But normally that street is lined with umbrellas. That was the day, boarding day. So the hotel we stayed in, the hotel we stayed in was literally just 2 minutes walk from the bridge there. The bridge kind of on the right there was down to the port, and you can see obviously the Epic there. And going to the left, the bridge took you over a lovely walk over to Condado, which we spent the day. The Epic wasn't leaving till about 9 o'clock at night, so you had quite a bit of time. But me being me, I was very impatient to get on the ship. So 2-3 hour walk into Condado and back, and then straight on the ship.
So how's boarding in Puerto Rico? What's boarding like?
Oh, John, it was fantastic, I have to say. I couldn't praise them highly enough. And I don't know whether it was because the Epic wasn't sailing till later at night. There wasn't so much of a hurry for everybody to get on, at that kind of 11, 12, 1 kind of time. But they were so organized. And from arriving at the ship to being on board, it wasn't much more than 10 minutes.
Oh, my goodness.
They were just so organized. It was fantastic, and many, many check-in desks. And it was just, I was so impressed with them.
I'm actually gutted watching these, Alison, to be honest with you, because I was due to be on the Epic in San Juan this November, so it just looks wow. I mean, that photo Chile just showed, that was what the walk into Condado. Yeah, so again, like I said, they have, everywhere they've got these little kind of monuments and features and waterfalls, and it's just such a pretty and a clean place, and there's beaches, and there's something for everybody. And I say you could easily spend a lot more time and explore the island, which we didn't get to do, but it's something I'd love to do, is go back to Puerto Rico at some point and just explore. The thing I was looking forward to, Alison, so much was that cocktail, the Pina Colada, the original Pina Colada. By the way, everyone that put a message in, we will get to you at some point. So we will go for the message at some point. Yeah, that Pina Colada. I was so looking forward to having an original Pina Colada, and I can't now. Yeah.
You will do one day. Again, that was just the walk from Condado. I think the next region's called Park, I think, something like that. But you see, there's just these little fountains and things are everywhere, and you can walk up to the beach there. And I think no matter where you choose to stay in San Juan, there's quite a few stayed in the Condado area. Some stayed. We had numerous people in the hotel that I was in. There was quite a lot stayed in Old San Juan. I think no matter which of these regions you stay, there's something for whatever you want to do, whether you just want to chill out at the beach before you board or whatever. There's something for everybody in San Juan, I would say, to satisfy everybody's pre-cruise needs. But it was just, it was lovely. And so that was on board. So looking straight across the sort of 2 tallest buildings there in the middle, that's where our hotel was, so you can see how close to the port it was. So the Old San Juan's to the left, and then just over in the far sort of right, just see the Condado, so you walk across the bridge to there. It was a great location where we stayed. I think it was in the middle of everything, easy to reach. They have free trams. I think you guys maybe call them trolleys. We call them tram cars. They weren't running at the time because of the fiesta. They'd stopped them, but I think they have free trolley cars, go quite a distance in Old San Juan and further afield that are great for the tourists and stop right outside the Pina Colada bar, Pete. So, yeah.
And our guest today, of course, is Allison More, one of our favorite Scottish ladies, and she's talking about so far just San Juan, but her Southern Caribbean cruise. So let's take a minute, Pete, and check on some comments, and we'll get back to Allison here shortly.
I will fly through them as quickly as I can. Tom Henry, hello everyone. Geraldine, hi from Ireland. Gretchen, hi Tom Amigos. Alison, Emily from New York, hello Amigos. Baba, she's here. Hi everyone. People saying hello to each other. Greetings, Jack. Well, Jack's here. Jack Wise, greetings from Texas. Hi, Jack. How you doing, mate? Gretchen's here, as I said. Nikki, hello, or good to see you. Jack Wise, Tom Henry, hi. Bubba says hi from Lake Worth Beach, Florida. Ladies here. Hello from Alaska. We're going to need to talk to you, lady, by the way, at some point. Bubba, she says, I joined to support a port. Yep. I sent out a whole load to all my friends. Facebook page, support a port. It's out there, hopefully, and we'll put links on our pages today. Yeah, so you can join it right now. The page with the orange logo. That's the one. Emily says, I've been going to a Freeport, Bahamas for about 10 years. Yep. Cruise Shop Save says, hi, amigos. I can now tell you, Melissa from Cruise Shop Save is going to be on our show next Sunday live with us. We'll explain all then. We had she's going to be a fantastic help with what we're trying to do to raise money for all the ports. Yeah. Now, lady says, oh, okay, very kind of you, amigos. Lady Moore, a long time no see. Great idea, Jack says. Thank you, Jack. Yeah, we will give. It's all about next week. By the way, we'll talk about it next week. Cruise Shop says brilliant. Nikki says, what a great idea. Fantastic. I'll gladly support an open safari bus in St. Thomas. Bubba says, yeah, that's what you can do. You can do it to the place that you want. So it gets to the people that you want. Shelby, we need to talk to you as well. Fabulous idea, Shelby says, yeah. Kitty Cat. What's Kitty Cat's name, John?
This is Ace. Ace is actually a wild cat. Everybody says you can't get close to him, and he won't. He doesn't like people. You can see that how he doesn't like people. And but when it was really cold last week, I let him into the video studio just because it was so cold outside. And now he just sleeps on me.
Yeah, so, he's taken over.
Yeah. And I'll get to that in a second. Baba, she says, I will support Skagway, Alaska. Lady, we need to talk to you. Nate, we need to talk to you because Alaska's one place that needs support urgently. And we're going to be doing like live shows every week for particular ports. And that's going to be one of our first, yeah? John, and now Jack actually says about the cat, John, looks like you and the cat are bosom buddies. My cat, Gatto, is a little standoffish, except on his terms. My cat's exactly the same thing. And my cat, by the way, is called Cat, could you believe, yeah? Jackie Williams, hi, everyone. Cruise Shop Save. And after this awful hurricane last year, it looks amazing. They've cleaned it up as well, yes. Yes, the trams are super cool, and we love San Juan, Nikki says. So we are up to date, Chile.
Okay, thanks, Pete. And back to Allison Moore with her trip from back in January on the Norwegian Epic.
Yeah. Okay, so this first stop Aruba, Casabari Rock Formation. I've been to Aruba twice now, so I did tours both times, and you're talking about the tours you did on the port. The first time I took a Jeep Safari. The second time I did just the local bus that was sitting at the port and did the tour with them. So both times you go to the Casabari Rock Formation and you can see people at the top of that. So you can climb up it. There's two ways up it. You can go the hard route, which is kind of steep and a little bit of kind of climbing through a couple of rocks there, or you can take the steps at the back. But the views from the top are absolutely fantastic. Both times I've been up there, it's just blowing a gale, so I was maybe unlucky. This is one of the places I went to on the Jeep Safari, the Natural Bridge. So the Natural Bridge, I think, actually collapsed maybe about so many years ago, but there's a baby bridge, but it's still one of the attractions that they take you to, and it's one of the places that you really need to go on a Jeep or on an ATV, because the buses can't really get to it. But yeah, it's beautiful scenery up there, rocks, and yeah, one of the places I think you definitely have to go to. And this was a photo I took at the Natural Bridge. Just at the back, there was these very black rocks with the stones. I don't know if people have put them there or not, but they just looked quite attractive, I thought. But that was at the Natural Bridge. And this was also on the Jeep Safari. This was at the gold mine ruins. So you can actually, that's kind of the back of them, you can actually climb in them up to a certain point. They're quite rocky, but yeah, you get just out, they're just kind of out on their own, and you can see the sand and the kind of desert. That's why you can't really go on the buses. You're best to go on Jeep Safaris to there. But yeah, just another one of the great attractions that Aruba's got. This was the Altavito Chapel. I think, if I remember right, it's about 300 years old. So it's up not far from those that you've been to Aruba, the Lighthouse. It's round about that kind of area. Just a beautiful little chapel, very, very peaceful, and yeah, just beautiful to see. And again, lovely views from where it's situated. And there's the California Lighthouse. So yeah, I think everybody goes there. Just a great, again, I remember first time I went to it, and I've been to Jamaica just on the stop before that, and I didn't, for me, Jamaica didn't scream Caribbean to me, but when I went to the Lighthouse and turned around and just saw that fantastic blue sea of Aruba, I mean, it was just amazing. So yeah. And there we go. That's Arashi Beach. So you visit that if you're doing the Jeep Safari. They let you stop there for quite a while. I think I was there. Nice cocktails you get on that beach as well, Pete. But yeah, quite rocky the beach, but the sea, as you can see, was just absolutely beautiful and golden sand. So one of the many stunning beaches that Aruba's got. And again, that one's, I think that was Eagle Beach, I could be wrong, slightly further along from Arashi Beach, nearer to the port. But yeah, there's just so many beaches in Aruba that are just absolutely stunning. I love Aruba, I must admit. Absolutely.
I remember that tree.
Oh dear. Was that you under that tree?
No, Chile was caught short, weren't you? And that's why you remember that tree, Chile.
Probably carved his initials in the side.
And one of the sites you see if you do go to Aruba, right opposite the cruise port, they've got the free trams. And I would say anyone, just, take time out to go on the trams. They're free. They just kind of loop down into the town and round about. But yeah, they're absolutely great experience. Just go and take an hour out and of your time and just go on the trams. They're brilliant. So this is my next stop. This is Curacao, another place I've been to a couple of times now. One of my favorite kind of walk-ins and piers, I think the Curacao one is just beautiful. So yeah, that's a view of the Epic in Curacao.
What cabin did you have on this trip? Do you remember?
On this trip, I had a balcony. So I was just on deck 13, just 3 or 4 cabins along from the bridge.
Buffet? Oh, yeah. From the bridge up in front. Okay. Yeah. From buffets in the back, bridges in the front. Yep.
Yeah. So this is in the Riff Fort. So when you come off the walkway, when you go along in Curacao, the first kind of place you come to is the Riff Fort. It's got lots of shops and cafes in it, and all these kind of, it's just beautifully decorated, and I say clean and just really nice. And you can go out the back and up and climb up the fort and see views looking over to other parts of Curacao. But yeah,
Alison, this is like torture for me, yeah, because it's not just the cruise that you've done. This is the cruise I was meant to do, and then John talks about a balcony. Yeah, I was able to upgrade from my studio to a balcony for about an extra $10, which you're never going to do. It's never going to happen again. I just wish I was there.
Yeah, I upgraded from an inside to a balcony for very little. I was really, really lucky. But yeah, this is the pontoon bridge in Curacao. So we were lucky to sit, I think, on a little cafe there in front. We were lucky to see it open not once but twice. But I so wish I'd been on it when it opened. I think that would have been fantastic. But just to see it opening is just, it's superb the way it is. You can see all the little pontoon sections that it's on, and the way it just kind of swings open. It's fantastic to see. But yeah, lucky we saw it open a couple of times. But I so wish I'd been on it. So this was one of the other ships that was important. It was a British ship. I can't remember which one it was just now, a UK ship, but it was on a world cruise. So I think before they hit Curacao, they'd come from maybe Bahamas, I think. So yeah, the people on board that, mostly British people, were on a world cruise, and how I wished I could have jumped aboard that one.
Now, on the for those of you that know, we have a cocktail party on Saturday. And yesterday they did a Halloween cocktail party, and I wanted to come dressed as a flamingo, but my pink boa was in the dry cleaners,
and his neck wasn't long enough.
There's the flamingo that I was going to dress as, right there in the middle of the picture.
Yeah, that's in Curacao, and that is probably I think the most flamingos I've ever seen in Curacao. We saw some in Bonaire. Didn't see any in Aruba at all, but Curacao, yeah, and that was taken on the way to a little resort in Curacao called Blue Bay Village, which I went on my first trip to Curacao. But yeah, you get to stop. You don't get to go off the bus. You have to take photos from the bus, and they only stop very briefly. They're not really supposed to stop at all. But yeah, there were just amazing amount of flamingos there. It was just beautiful to see. And that was the first place I went to in Curacao. That's Blue Bay Village Resort. It felt very European to me. It felt very much like Portuguese, the kind of resorts they have there. It had golfing, and it had a hotel, and there was villas on it, and this little kind of beach. But yeah, it was lovely, but it felt very strangely Portuguese rather than you would think. Obviously, Curaçao's got the Dutch connection. So this is the third stop. This is the third of the ABC Islands, Bonaire. I hadn't been to there before. Very much smaller than Aruba and Curacao, but just as pretty and completely different in its own right. We only had a morning there, so it was quite rushed. I think the only trip I did off the ship on this one, purely because I wanted to go to they have a cactus distillery. Unfortunately, it's the one place they did the tour for whatever reason didn't go, but we did stop in a little place called Rincon, and this was one of the little museums we stopped at. We got to taste the cactus liqueur there, but unfortunately we didn't go to the distillery.
Oh, an open place for your house, an open a lot.
So this was down at the slave huts. There's two lots of slave huts on Bonaire that they keep there just as a reminder of the things, hopefully we'll never go back to those times. But yeah, the quite emotional being there, to be quite honest. But yeah, there's the yellow ones and the white ones. This was me just put my feet in the sea. It was a little bit rough, but yeah, it was lovely warm day. But the sea was a little bit chilly.
And our guest today, of course, is Allison More, one of our favorite Scottish ladies, talking about her trip to the Southern Caribbean on the Norwegian Epic. Pete, do you have any more comments before we go on?
I've got a few more comments. Jack says, cruise shop saviors absolutely support Alaska, and we are going to do that. I do think that's probably one of the first places we'll do a live show for Alaska, and we'll talk to Lady from Alaska. We'll talk to Nate about that as well, hopefully. Now, Jack says gato is Spanish for gat. Yes, gato for Spanish for cat. I did know that. I did live in Spain for a while, and I had two cats as well. They disappeared one day, unfortunately. Emily says, lot of laugh, Jack. Yes, it's high school friend who is from Uruguay. She named her cat Gato. It's a great name for a cat, I think. And Rona from Scotland, she says, great pictures and chat, Alison. Absolutely.
Hi, Rona.
Yeah. And Melissa, who's going to be on our show next week, and we can't wait to talk to Melissa. She says, gorgeous beach, yeah? Gorgeous beach. It does. It's absolutely gorgeous. There you go. And I've got one other question, by the way. I want to go back all the way to the beginning, to be honest with you, about the Pina Colada. Alison, just how good was it?
It was really good. It was really good, I have to say. It was very nice. Yeah.
The best you've ever had? The best you've ever had?
Well, it was up there. It was up there, definitely.
She's thinking. Yeah. There we go.
All right, we'll get back to the pictures. Pete, eat your heart out.
Yeah, this was another one of the highlights of being on Bonaire is the salt flats, and unfortunately I haven't really picked it up on the camera how pink the water was at the salt flats. It was just absolutely beautiful, stunning. It's the one thing that on Bonaire I really wanted to see, so I was glad that I did. It was absolutely stunning, beautiful. And yeah, that's just another scenic picture of Bonaire. There was so many people that we met, my friend Gail and Val, and hi Gail, I think Gail's watching. They went on the little golf carts. There's quite a lot of people go on golf carts round the island. And on the golf carts, of course, you can stop many times as you like. And there's just so many little beaches and coves all the way around the island that they did that quite a bit. But yeah, it was just, Bonaire was beautiful, very small, but easy to get round. Okay, so now we're in Barbados, St. Lucia. St. Lucia, this one is. This was at the banana plantations. In St. Lucia, you're talking about, private tours. We went on coastal tours in St. Lucia. I booked on one of their tours. So they take you all over the island to see lots of different places. So, yeah, and this was just Marigot Bay, I think that was, in St. Lucia. We docked quite late in St. Lucia on that one. We were supposed to dock about lunchtime, but we docked even later. So it was a real rush tour, and unfortunately we didn't get time to see everything on St. Lucia. But one of the highlights was a speedboat trip that we took from, I think that's Soufriere, I think it's pronounced, to a little beach beside the Pitons. We got about 45 minutes to an hour at this beach, but wow, it was just a stunning beach, I have to say. That was the absolute highlight for me of St. Lucia.
And of course, there was more adult beverages.
Yeah, you have to try it. I had to try it. You can see I only drank half of it, Chile. But yeah, Piton beer at the Pitons, and that beach was just stunning in the water. So for me, that was the absolute highlight of St. Lucia. It was fabulous. Yeah. Is that the cat one, John?
Was that an accident, or was that the cat?
That was 2 TV monitors and a light on the floor.
Ooh.
From the cat.
Cat.
Ah,
the cat has struck.
See, never have animals live on the show. That's what happens. They just.
You're right. I think the cat's going to go. If I disappear, the cat's going to check the outside world for a little bit. So.
Wow. Margaret says, "Is she the only person in the world that doesn't like pina coladas?" Lady says she has been very happy. Being on the show, but I talk about Alaska, and also maybe next week, Lady, as well, next on our launch party. And Lady has family in St. Lucia. It's lovely.
Yeah. Well, this is a mud bath, and I didn't go in, but Gail, who I met, Gail lives out in Texas. She went in, so yeah, she said it was really good. There was some went in, and some didn't. If you live in Europe and you go to Turkey, there's mud baths galore over there. So you've been in every kind of mud bath if you ever go to Turkey. So I kind of avoided the mud bath on this occasion, but there was a few people went in.
Wow.
Now we're in Barbados. That was the next stop. Yeah, so this was, we went to a place called Harbour Lights, a beach day. Now, Barbados, when we docked, it was absolutely lashing down with rain, but we thought, nope, I'm going to the beach anyway. It cleared up as soon as we got there. We were lucky to be the first people included in the beach chair that you get. You can have an hour-long turtle out on the boats to look for turtles. So luckily the rain stayed off for us for that, and we had there you go, fantastic time looking. So you're not too far off the beach, you can just see the beach there in the background, but wow, the amount of turtles we saw was we saw a huge amount. Yeah, and that was fantastic. It was quite a lot of people went snorkeling. I stayed on board and was the turtle watcher, but it was great. I think I saw more than most people did, but yeah, it was fantastic. That was the boat we went on. So we were so lucky that it stayed dry for that hour. But unfortunately, with about 15 minutes of finishing on the boat trip, the rain just lashed down again. So being British and being in Barbados and going to stick it out for whatever comes, we sat there and I sat there and I thought, no, it's going to stop. But when the rain starts forming puddles on your lounger, then you know it's time to give up and go back to the ship. But yeah, we're so lucky that I got the hour to go and see the turtles in that hour. It looks beautiful. It was. And now you see the rain. I was trying to get a picture of Barbados without the rain, but unfortunately it was just, as you can see.
Yeah, that looks awful.
So we kind of abandoned the beach, and there was only one thing for it to do the rest of the time, was just going on a pub crawl round the bars in the Epic. There was nothing else for it. Since we were back at the ship early and the weather wasn't great, couldn't sunbathe, so what else can you do? So this was docking in, I think the next stop, this would have been St. Kitts. So St. Kitts has been a bucket list island for me for such a long time. So yeah, so excited to be in St. Kitts. And we were docked aside, you see there, the Anthem of the Seas. Yeah, it's quite funny when you wake up on the balcony and you're so close to another ship, and yeah, Anthem of the Seas was next.
What I always wanted to do when two ships were really close like that is I wanted to make friends with somebody in an opposite balcony and then throw them a line and then have clothes strung across drying. Wouldn't that have been funny?
You're talking about throwing each other breakfast.
Well, I thought just throw a line over and then have like clothes hanging out, like bras and underwear and stuff. And
John, you're talking about your bras, are you?
No, some I would bring along, some that I would, just have in storage.
So when you go on a cruise, you bring bras.
I bring a lot of things. Yes. Yeah.
Listen, we saw John dressed up last night on Zoom chat. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
I might have to go incognito. I might have to get away quick as someone else. So,
yeah, the actual costume of the night was actually won by Chili, by the way, just to let you know that. And Chili came as himself. Didn't you, Chili? Tom Henry says, my favourite pina colada was on a train in St. Kitts. He says it was so good, I repeated the tour next visit. Yeah, I bet you did. Yep. Again, Melissa says, from Cruise Shop Save, oh, lovely. Yes, it is. And Nikki says, someone I know had too many pina coladas. Yeah. Many years ago, and I can't even stand the smell. Yes, Roger, I'm talking about you, Nikki says. Emily, Roger, are you watching? Emily has a question for Alison. Were you able to touch the turtles? And before you answer that, I'll just finish off with very quickly. Jack says, if you like pina coladas and getting caught in the rain, if you're not into yoga, hang on, they all keep disappearing. You're not into yoga, you have half a brain. If you're making love at the midnight in the dunes on the Cape, write to me and escape. I didn't read that very well, but yeah, okay. Thanks, Jack.
The meter was bad, Pete. The meter was.
The rum tours in Barbados are fun. So Emily's question: were you able to touch the turtles, Alison?
Well, I wasn't in swimming, but those that were in, yes, they were, and it was quite funny at some points. I shouldn't have laughed, but because I could see the turtles before everybody else, I'm shouting "turtle, turtle," and some people weren't realising they looked in, and the turtle was literally below them, and they were kind of got quite a fright. It was, which made me laugh. It was quite funny, but yeah, I think those that were in, the turtles were swimming right underneath them and coming very close to them. Yeah, all the time. And there was lots. I was quite amazed at how many turtles there were that we saw. We saw lots. Yeah. So yeah, this was St. Kitts. Another private tour we did, and one that gets fantastic reviews. Thenford Grey tours, and it was fantastic. I have to say, they were absolutely superb. Gave us an absolutely fantastic tour of the island. So knowledgeable. Just told us the history and everything about it. We saw everywhere all over the island. Wherever we wanted to go, they went, or took us to places obviously that they recommended. It was fantastic. One of the best tours I've been on, I would say, Thenford Grey. So yes, this was just some of the places on the way. Now I can't remember the significance of this one. There was some reason we stopped there, but it was in a little village on the way to Romney Manor. I think that we were there. So yeah, there we go. At Romney Manor, which was absolutely beautiful, I have to say. Drive through, we were in a little minibus, so we can drive through a little bit of kind of rainforest to get up to it. And you get time to walk around the gardens and everything, which were just absolutely stunning.
Now, was that Mitt Romney Manor?
What was that, sorry?
Is that Mitt Romney Manor?
She probably doesn't know.
He's
who
a
Mitt
politician
Romney
in
is.
America. See, that was,
Oh.
it was a joke. See, Mitt Romney Manor. So yeah, I knew you would, Allison, but we're trying to wake these guys up here. So, you know.
Yeah, and I
I
wasn't
understood,
very- I
but
wasn't.
probably the two of them didn't, John.
No.
Yeah,
I
our
wasn't
guest,
awake
our
either.
guest today, of course, is Allison More from Scotland, and she kind of talks funny like Pete does.
She does
No,
not
no,
talk funny.
no.
She could describe Tupperware, and
No.
I would be completely
No.
enthralled.
Oh, me
Thank
too.
Thank you, John.
Absolutely.
Jack says, by the way, the Pina Colada song was by Rupert Holmes, so I should have known that. Well done, Jack. A good song, Jack. Melissa says from Cruise Shop Save. It stuck in my head. Tom Henry, give me 2 Pina Coladas, 1 for each hand. Yep, I'm with you there, Tom. Sonny, beautiful pictures of your trip. Thank you, Alison.
Yeah.
Thank
Jack,
you.
Cruise Shop Save, glad to be of service. Sonny, something to look forward to in these crazy times. Yes, Sonny, but I should be there in next month. I'm gutted. And Lady says, loving all the pictures, Alison, as we all are.
Were you going to go to St. Kitts as well, Pete? Were you due to go to St. Kitts?
I think so. Yeah. I was doing the transatlantic, Alison, and then stay on it back to back from San Juan
Okay, right.
on the
Right,
Epic.
Yeah. So you possibly were. So yeah, I just loved St. Kitts. I thought it was fabulous, beautiful island. Just absolutely loved it. And I'd say it was a tick box of mine. So I'd love to go back and see more of it, I must admit. So yeah, this was another picture taken in Romney Manor. I mean, it was just so peaceful and just absolutely beautiful. It was stunning. So we spent quite a bit of time there. But on the Femme for Grey tours, they just, you want to spend whatever time you want to spend on it. And he was just so chilled back and just so grateful, like you say, you were talking about earlier, so grateful for us to be there and to show, so he could show us these islands. Really, it was fantastic.
And something tells me our friend Allison did a little misbehaving with some of these ladies.
Yeah, that could be possible. So yeah, so we've got Joyce up in the top left. She was a first-time cruiser, so she's from here in Glasgow. So Joyce was one of my friends. She's a first-time cruiser. Val is from Texas, top right, who we met on the cruise. And Gail, I think, is watching. Hi, Gail. Bottom left, who we also met in the hotel we're staying in. Actually, we hooked up with Gail in the hotel, and we all keep in touch. So yeah, we had an absolute blast, and we're hoping to cruise again, hopefully next year. If we can.
And by the way, one of the ladies we met yesterday, Jackie, who is in our audience today. See what happens, Jackie? She met these folks on this ship and still stays in touch.
Yeah, we had a blast. We did. Yeah. So this was at,
he's pulling up his pants at the latrine, or what?
Yeah, it's an outhouse. That's what it looks like to me.
The door had fallen off, John. Yeah, this was at Brimstone Hill Fortress. So this poor guy is on duty. I think they have to spend about an hour and all that. And for me, it was hot. I thought it was really hot. So yeah, they spend an hour on duty at a time, I think he said. So yeah, just standing in that box or walking about. So yeah, there's the view from the top of the fortress. I mean, it was just absolutely stunning. Wow. Again, beautiful place to go and see. The views from all round were fantastic, superb. Yeah, and the fortress itself stretches
what happened?
Quite a way. So yeah,
we're with you at Chile. What do you said? What happened?
I've got a feeling that Chile has.
There we go.
Yeah, he's
sorry
back.
about that.
You're back.
I seem to be losing my signal on a regular basis today.
Yeah, you got a picture up there, Chile. So
yeah,
stuck there. If Chile disappears
from the fortress.
If Chile disappears from the show, there's nothing we can do, Alison, because we have no control over it. So if Chile loses his signal, we're stuck, basically.
Yeah. So that was kind of towards, we were heading down to one of the beaches after we'd been to the fortress. Just stopped at another viewpoint, and I think that's one of the ones I had a panorama picture of Chile, possibly. Just again, I just thought St. Kitts was just absolutely stunning, just beautiful scenery. And that was down at a little beach he took us to. There was a little bar, just a tiny little bar, some secluded beach, and it was just, it was beautiful. That was kind of the end of the tour then. So then we went back to the ship after that. But loved my time in St. Kitts. This was a little bird that I just I took a number of photos on the way to, I think, Tortola. We were heading to as we were kind of coming into Tortola. Tortola was a beach day. Didn't do much touring, so came off the ship. There was various beaches could have gone to, decided to get in one taxi, and we headed off to Long Bay Beach on Beef Island. And Tortola, absolutely stunning. We had a great beach day. It wasn't particularly busy there. Went for a walk, myself and Gail, found quite a lot of interesting stones and shells, and it was a great little beach. There was just a couple of little beach bars there. They came and served you buckets of beer by your sun lounger, bit of music on in the background. Absolutely perfect chill day. But I have to say, some of the roads going to the beach, they were a little bit scary in Tortola. They were very high, very twisty. But well worth it to get to the beach.
But
and
look at the end. Look at the end here. Those are ships at the end of this road here.
Yeah, it is. That's the Epic on the right, and on the left is the Bliss. So that's the little, just as you come off the ships, that's the little shopping mall, and there's the Bliss going off. It sailed off before us, and we watched the sail away from the balcony, but there was a lot of people on the top deck of the Bliss, and they must have been on the top lot of the staff on the top deck of the Epic, and they were kind of doing a dance off, and it was a brilliant sail away, being the two Norwegian ships. It was fantastic.
Wow,
and then my final island, and another one I absolutely love, St. Thomas. And that is the cable sky ride up to Paradise Point, which I have wanted to do for about since our first cruise that we were on the transatlantic. What was that, 2017, and we didn't get to go to St. Thomas. I went back again in 2018, but I was on the Star on that occasion. We didn't dock at Havenside, so I didn't get to go on Paradise Point because I had other things planned. So I was determined to go up at this time. So I not only went up once, but I went up again later in the day as well. So that was just a little picture taken down at the harbour from kind of the main sort of area of Charlotte Amalie. We took, again, just one of these, somebody mentioned earlier they were going to support one of the taxi rides in St. Thomas, and that's what we did. We just hopped on one of the local taxi rides that you go on. There's lots of them about in St. Thomas, and they take you in Charlotte Amalie. You get to stop off, and there's a little market there, and there's a little garden where that was taken. I think that was Liberty Bell. I think that's a replica of Liberty Bell. And you get time there before they take you up to Mountain Top, and you get to go to the beach and various places. So that was St. Thomas. And there we are looking down. That's from Drake's Seat, looking down into Megan's Bay on the left down there, and obviously you see some of the islands in the background. Megan's Bay, absolutely beautiful beach if you want to have a beach day. One of the most famous beaches, I think, in St. Thomas. Absolutely beautiful. And you walk off the ship, and I think you can go on excursions from the ship. You can also walk off the ship, and there's plenty taxis that'll take you to Megan's Bay and take you back again. And say again, there's a couple of beach bars down there and something to eat. But the water's fantastic. Beautiful blue water, lovely beach.
I'm like you, Alison. I've been to Megan's Bay.
There we go.
Yeah.
I've been to Megan's Bay. Sorry, Chili. I've been to Megan's Bay, and it rained the entire time.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, the entire time it rained in Megan's Bay, but I stayed on there. Are you still there, Chili?
Yeah, I'm here.
Sorry, the photo's still on, mate. Okay, sorry. I'll go for a couple more comments, Chili, because I know you're going to finish shortly, yeah?
Yeah.
Now, Melissa says from Cruise Shop Save, make me want to go to Barbados now. Yes, I sure do. Jack Wise, any thoughts on the CDC dropping the no sale order? That's an entire another show, but Chili has got that on his channel, by the way. So search his YouTube channel on that one, Jack. He's got a lot about the CDC. Nikki says, great pictures, bringing back good memories. Melissa says, look, it looks beautiful, Alison. Jack says, blame the cats, Chili, blame the cats.
My last photo was the sail away from St. Thomas, and I managed to get quite a few stunning photos of the sun going down and changing colour, and yeah, just fantastic memories of beautiful St. Thomas.
And of course, there was some more.
And that was my
beverages.
That was my haul, which I was so lucky to get. I was expecting not to see it all when I opened my case back in Scotland, but yeah, I did. And I have to say that banana rum, wow, it's knockout literally. If you take several shots of it, trust me, I've tried.
Yeah, Melissa says thank you.
I hate to say this, guys, but we've used up the hour.
Where's it gone?
Absolutely used it up. Allison talked a whole hour just about.
Well,
and I
after we
didn't drink
talked.
much wine.
That was fabulous. Again, guys, so we try never to overrun our stay. I'll thank everybody for being here. Allison, of course, we love you to death. What a fabulous job. You gave all of us a chance to live on a cruise through your eyes when right now none of us can do it. And this was just awesome. So,
thanks, guys.
And for everybody else, you guys keep your ears tuned for Support a Port. You're going to be hearing a lot about it from Pete over there in London and John up in Minnesota, and of course me here in Virginia, and we call ourselves the Cruise Amigos. So we'll be talking to you soon. We'll see you next Sunday and have a whole show just on Support a Port and what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. Hope you'll all be with us then. So for now, this is Chili from the Cruise Amigos. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Allison. Bye, everybody.
Bye, Alison.
Bye.